Should you wait to buy a PC until next-gen consoles come out? And if you have $1,000, should you buy a PC or should you buy a next-gen console? Well, those are the questions we answer right now on Robeytech. Let me start off with this. Guys, this is going to be a talking head video. Now, it may not be. I will tell you, whether Brian or Josh is going to edit this, there may be flying spaceships going around my head and all that stuff right now. But for the most part, the message is really about having a conversation with you. When I released my 1K video about a week ago, which you can check out right here, I got a lot of questions that came up in comments, which was like, hey, why even buy a PC now when you can wait for a next-gen console? And that began to have my pondering moment. Is it actually a good time to buy a PC, or should you wait for next-gen consoles? Now, as I began to think about this, and I began to ponder this, along with like, what is the meaning of the universe, and whether 72 really is the answer to all of universe's questions, then I realized, you know what, honestly, the answer to that question is, should you wait? Absolutely not. And let me go through my reasonings why. First and foremost, like Xbox or like PlayStation, PC has exclusive games, and none of these games are actually small. In fact, many of them are the earth-shattering movements that define things like esports, MMOs, etc., right? Like when you think about games like World of Warcraft, games like Valorant, which is now defining the FPS movement, and especially games like League of Legends, Heroes of the Storm, pretty much most Blizzard titles. All of those games are games that you're gonna want to play and are exclusive to PC. I mean, honestly, PC is just like console in the fact that it has its own exclusives. I guess the other thing to think about is that, honestly, above board, everything else, PC is going to be where games look the best, whether that's Cyberpunk 2077 that's coming out, Flight Sim, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, all of them are going to look best on PC. And I'll talk a little bit about why later, but just fundamentally at the base level, your PC experience, especially if you have high-end gaming PCs, like when a 2080 Super or a 2080 Ti, is going to look better than anything that you're going to get on console. The other thing too is that Xbox and PS5 exclusives are being ported to PC. You can think of PC as like a universal platform, both PlayStation and Xbox. I mean, look at this, like August 7th, by the time you're probably watching this, we'll be playing Horizon Zero Dawn, a PlayStation exclusive on PC. Death Stranding just came out just a couple weeks ago. We have games like Halo Infinite, Sea of Thieves, Crackdown 3, Gears of War. All of these games are going to be available on PC as well. You even have some rare chances where games from Nintendo Switch, etc. will also make their move all the way over to PC. PC is just, it's a beloved platform where there are so many players, and with so many options, it just doesn't make sense for game development companies not to put their games also on PC, just as an opportunity for them to get more money. Now, you won't see like Horizon Zero Dawn on Xbox Series X, but PC is kind of that neutral zone, the Sweden, so to speak, where games are going to become available everywhere. When we think about the power of next gen, and this is a super interesting one, because I think a lot of people, when they think about Xbox Series X or they think about the PlayStation 5, that power is beyond what a PC is nowadays. So let's just break it down from a number standpoint. The Xbox Series X will have 12 teraflops with the PS5 coming in at 10.8 teraflops. Now when we take let's take a standard GPU, like an AMD Radeon 5700 XT. An AMD Radeon 5700 XT has 9.75 teraflops. That's a 2070 Super. And we're already getting dangerously close to that of the PlayStation 5 in terms of computational power. In fact, all it takes is a 2080 Super, nigh a 2080 Ti, to outperform that of an Xbox Series X or a PlayStation 5. The NVIDIA RTX 2080 has 13.4 teraflops, and then when you think about an RTX Titan, that actually has a whopping 16.31 teraflops of computing power. And that's how we're basically measuring next gen nowadays, is its ability to do floating point math. Now, when you think about the rumored 3000 series NVIDIA GPUs, which you have to understand, NVIDIA has stopped making 2070 Supers, 2080s, and 2080 Ti's because we know how close we are to Ampere, or NVIDIA's next level GPUs. We're so close to that right now. And right now, when we're looking at the leaked benchmarks, we're looking at a 30% jump in terms of overall power. Now, if I take a 30% jump to a 2070 Super, which right now is like a 9.75 teraflops, we're already greater than that of an Xbox Series X. And those are $400 to $500 GPUs when they release next year. The other thing too is when you think about ray tracing, which is another thing that people are touting, it's like, well, it's next-gen ray tracing. It's actually not. Because AMD's new RDNA 2.0 is AMD's first entry into ray tracing. So when we're talking about ray tracing coming from AMD, and this is their first one, you can expect stuff that's probably very much on par with what you're seeing with current 2000 series RTX graphics cards. In fact, with the release of the Ampere and 3000 series graphics cards, that's where you're actually going to see the next gen jump in terms of what ray tracing is going to be. Now, the one thing I will say is because of Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5, and the fact that it's going to be more mainstream for ray tracing, you will see huge advances and a larger use of ray tracing in next gen titles, especially as they get ported to PC. But I think what I'm saying is that essentially, you are going to basically still have the best looking games, and if you're going to have a showcase for games, those showcases are going to be on the PC platform. Now let's just take a step back, because the other thing too is like, I also want to talk about the PC as a platform as well, because again, the other thing too that PC does that consoles don't is just thinking of it as a streaming device. PCs are versatile, while a console is in many ways, though it is improving, it is still a very game-focused only device. So when you really think about, though Microsoft has made huge steps forward in terms of streaming off of console and making that the only device that you stream off just by adding a webcam and having a couple different like graphical settings you can do, for the most part, honestly, streaming on console is still light years behind streaming on a PC. In fact, if you're going to be a streamer, honestly, streaming off a PC actually gives you access to a lot of those exclusives, for some of them even from day one. It gives you access to things like OBS or Streamlabs OBS or XSplit, and then doing a lot of overlays. It gives you opportunities to do chat, etc., because of the versatile nature of a PC. So when you think about spending money on a console versus spending money on a PC, PCs actually give you that more versatility, and that's not even including if you're going to do things like do video editing or look at the web or any of the other things that you need to do to grow something like a business or something like that. Let's take a step back and say, well, if I have $600 and I want to spend it on a console, or if I have $600 to $100 and I want to spend it on a PC, which one should you spend it on? Let me be honest, it really doesn't matter. Go with what you're going to do. If you're a huge Halo fan, if you're a huge Sea of Thieves fan, if you want to play Fable, and you're really all about gaming, then get your Xbox Series X. It's going to do fantastic. And the reason I say $600 to $1,000 is like $600 for basically a console, and then maybe $400 to $500 for a really nice 4K, if not 4K HDR television, you're still looking at about $1,000. If you're talking about 720p or 1080p, then it really doesn't matter. But same thing is that if you're also talking about, like, I want to play Horizon Zero Dawn 2, or I want to play other like Ratchet and Clank and other PS5 exclusives, then buy a PS5. But the other thing too is that if you're looking at wanting to get like versatility, if you want to get into streaming, if you want to basically play all of those, some if not all of those games, then you're definitely going to want to look at a PC. And spending $1,000 on a PC, the big thing is you can upgrade it later. That's something you can't do with a console, and something that you're not going to be able to do at any point in time moving forward. Yeah, you can add M.2 storage, but all in all, like in 2 to 3 years, you'll be able to spend $600-700 and still get something that is as powerful, if not more powerful, than a Series X or a PlayStation 5. If you spend $1,000 on a PC, sometime next year you could add $400 to $500, and you could be as much as 30% more powerful than what you're going to get on a Series X or even on a PlayStation 5. If you wanted to choose a PC, let's just say if you wanted to choose a PC, then why? I just want to break it down. Again, number one, PC is a universal platform. There's not going to be, that's where most games are going to come. That's where you're going to be able to play pretty much everything, and for the most part, you have the versatility in terms of choosing a career. That's where it's going to be. PCs can do more. PCs can do more in terms of browsing the web, in terms of productivity, and in terms of adding things like streaming, etc. Should you wait to buy a PC now versus anything else? I don't think the answer is yes. I think very clearly the answer is probably not. If you really are considering buying a PC, then getting a PC now versus getting a PC after next gen doesn't make a whole lot more sense. But what I can say is if you're looking at buying a PC and you're asking the question, should I wait for 3000 series NVIDIA GPUs, or should I could go ahead and do it now with a 2000 series, you can check out my video on that question right here. Okay guys, well that's it. The question is, did you follow my logic? What do you guys think about what I said in terms of putting it together, in terms of whether you should buy a PC or whether you should buy a console? What next-gen console are you actually looking forward to? I'd love to know that. What's your favorite PC exclusive title for those of you who play on PC already? And then finally, what are your thoughts on whether you should wait or whether you shouldn't? I love these kind of discussions, and I'd love to hear about all that stuff in the comments below. Now, while you're down there, make sure that you slap that subscribe button, whip that like button, and ring that notification bell so you get a notification each and every time we have a new video that posts live. Speaking of live, you can also check out our live show every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday right here on YouTube, starting at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. Now, we stream lots of other times, but if you want to get us on our regular times, those are our regular times, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You can also check us out on Twitch. If you don't want to hang out here on YouTube and you want to chat with some other new folks, you can check us over at twitch.tv/Robeytech. Also, we have an amazing community over on Discord who hang out and talk about PC building, PC tech, tech news, showing PC pictures, pictures of cats, talking about food, all of that stuff. And you can check the link for our Discord community right down in the description below. Anyway, guys, I hope this has been incredibly informative. You can follow me and learn all of this information on all of my socials over on Instagram, Twitter. Heck, I'm even hanging out with the kids over on TikTok if it isn't banned by the time you're watching this video. And all of this stuff is over at Robeytech. Anyway, guys, I'm going to take off. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you on the next one.